What up, guys? So I got a lot of new subscribers lately because of the Yami new video, which has been super awesome. Welcome all the new people. Never been a more perfect time to join, as everything gets kicked up a notch soon. But I have seen a comment quite frequently that is asking me about the bike that I'm riding, and more particularly why I'm riding it. I noticed there's a few people on the bigger bikes, usually like the Harley guys with the really big engines that go kind of slow. They're always on like, why don't you get a real bike, or you know, what do you know about biking? You're on a little Hawk 250 moped, a little Chinese scooter, what is that, bro? And what I have to say to those guys is riding a slow bike fast is a lot more fun than the way you guys ride your slow bike slow that sound like fast bikes and look like fast bikes. If I had a nickel for every big cruiser type of rider who has talked down to me for my choice of Chinese motorcycle, I would have enough nickels to buy another Chinese motorcycle, which fortunately for me is not very many nickels. You know, it's not that many. But everybody else seems very receptive. The, you know, $40,000 Ducati guys have left comments on my video saying it's a sick bike, bro. Love that there's a Hawk 250 motovlogger. I've seen guys on super expensive supermoto stuff, other motovloggers that have a variety of different bikes. They're always super receptive and very happy that I'm riding a bike that's cheap and enjoying the hell out of it without really worrying about the stigma that comes with riding a cheap bike on YouTube, and how typically motovloggers have expensive stuff and they like to show off what they have, and like the, you know, the K style motovlogging, which is awesome. I watch a lot of that stuff as well. I love super bikes. I love to be an owner of a Ducati or a Aprilia in the future. But at the same time, this bike is the most fun I've ever had on a motorcycle. One, because it's my first motorcycle, and two, because it is very slow and it is very leisure, and I can push the limits on this thing without worrying about losing my head. I wear full gear, full jacket, pants, pads, gloves, helmet, everything for my slow bike experience. I'm trying to minimize excuse me, I'm trying to minimize the injury opportunity. And when it comes to those big heavy cruiser style bikes, especially the Harley guys, see a lot of beginners get these bikes and then they're wielding around this 800 to 1,000 pound machine that isn't even that fast, and they paid a ton of money for, so they're super scared of dropping it. Now, I've not dropped this thing and I don't want to drop this thing, but if it was between me or the bike, I would hop off this thing in a second and send this thing off a cliff. I could just buy another one. You know, it's less than $2,000 to have this thing shipped to my house. Harley Davidson riders, if they lean too hard in a corner, which they probably won't do anyway, they're gonna have to spend $20,000 just to fix the chrome. Now, I'm joking and I'm memeing, and this is kind of a response to all the Harley guys who have made fun of me for my Hawk 250. I still love you, Harley guys, and I think Harleys are dope. I'll probably get like a Road King in the future when I'm older. But I don't understand what it is about that very specific community that seems, thank you, that seems to care so much about what type of bike I'm on, in a negative way. I guess other people do care when they say something positive. It's more like, oh, sick bike, bro, you got a nice little cheap bike, that's cool. It's still acknowledging the fact that it is a cheaper, shittier bike. But to just blatantly shit on me and act like I don't know anything about motorcycling just because I ride a Chinese motorcycle, it's crazy. And I've been always super open on my channel. I'm a beginner, and all my content comes from the perspective of a beginner, and I think that's where my content can be a little bit more valuable than a lot of people who have grown up around bikes and know the ins and outs of bikes. They don't really know what the regular person wouldn't know. Like someone like me who didn't really grow up around motorcycles and is learning everything about them currently, like as you're watching, I'm learning. It's a lot more relatable to people who are having the same experience. Because let's be honest, those type of Harley guys probably aren't going to be watching and enjoying my content anyway. So why would I give a fuck about what they have to say? But I do, of course. So I'm here responding to it a little bit. So I thought I'd give my perspective on why I think riding this Hawk 250 is a valuable learning experience as a beginner. Now, I've gone over these in other videos before, but we can just like go over the quick stuff. One, it's cheap. Main point, very cheap. Two, it's slow. It's not like you get a SV650 as your first bike, which is recommended a lot, and then you can easily whiskey throttle that thing into a wall. No problem. I think it's powerful as fuck. You can start feeling like you're Rossi out there and be leaning too hard in a corner and go flying into the woods. A bike like this is really going to discourage you from riding like that, because it just doesn't inspire the same type of confidence when you're trying to put a knee down. You're way too far up high on the bike to ever consider putting a knee down. I'm sure a good rider could, but it's just not something you're thinking about. And I think a lot of beginner sports bike riders are always in that mentality of, oh, I'm trying to lean as hard as I possibly can, when, I mean, we all know that you're supposed to try to keep the bike standing up, to have as much contact patch on the ground as possible, and you're supposed to lean your own body over. But that's a different topic for another day. And with that being said, it is time for me to go to the gym, work on my health. Subscribe, like, share, all that. If you guys are wondering where is the mountain bike content that I was talking about earlier, you can click the second channel link in my description, and that's where I'm posting my mountain bike content. I'm not really good enough or am providing enough value in those videos to post them on my main channel yet. But if you do see a mountain bike video on my main channel in the future, then please watch it, because it is something that I'm likely very proud of. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.